Hello, movie lovers. Yeah, it's Friday. I don't know what time it is. What time is it? Say, for instance, it's 4:36 Friday afternoon here in Bob's place on Cosburn Avenue. Yeah, here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. But most of you know that already. How do I look? Get out of here, kid. You bother me. Let's talk about the movies I watched this week. All right? All right. I only got a couple I might show you, but I'm going to read from my book instead of. I think most of them I saw on TV. A lot of them I watched on TV, right? So, yeah, I watched one on TCM. TCM, of course. I always had TCM for the last 20 odd something years. But, there's movies I watch over again, sometimes. And there's movies on there that I have, and I watch them anyway. And so, a regular story. It's TCM. So I watched Watch on the Rhine. Betty Davis, of course, right? And Paul Lucas, right? So, American family, it's 1943, and an American family living in Europe, right, helping the anti-Nazi underground movement, in Germany, of course. When they both go back to the States and they bring their kids, they bring two boys and a girl, and they go back to see Betty Davis's mother to spend some time for a visit, right? So yeah, mother's an old lady, rich old lady, loves her daughter. They also have a son. She has a son, Betty Davis's brother, and they're staying in this house. But in this house, there are other visitors too staying. Yes. So this was the Best Picture nominee. It was a very good picture. I give it a 7 out of 10. I can watch this one again next year. Very well acted movie, very good movie. Paul Lucas does a wonderful job. A big 7. See, I don't want to spoil. But I'm pretty sure that most of the movies I talk about on my channel, I try not to spoil them for you, right? So tell you about the movie's about, but I don't get into it too much. And if I do, I always say, I really can't, say too much about it because we'll spoil it for you, of course, right? Hold on, I gotta take a drink. That's good for you, man. Oh yeah, good for the blood. Damn. All right, what else did I watch? All right, film noir, of course, TCM. Film noirs are on Saturday night here at 10 and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. This one's from 1951, and it's called Tomorrow is Another Day. An ex-convict struggles to adjust to post-prison life. He meets a dance hall girl, and they go on the run together. They go on the run. The reason they go on the run is because he thinks he shot and killed her boyfriend. So they're on the run. Going here and going there. Hiding out in the, farm or place where everybody picks oranges together. Those, what do you call it, places. Anyway, it's a pretty good story. But, he thinks he killed her. They bugger off together, right? And you get married. And she's going to have a baby, and it's all a regular Oprah story. But it's a very good story, yes. I get a 6. It's a very good story, but I only get a 6, because it's kind of, what do you want to call it? What's the right word? Bland? It's kind of like, so it's a good story, but it only gets a 6. Also, I watched on, everybody's watching this one, on Netflix, most everybody, the Christmas Chronicles 2, right? Goldie Hawn and her husband, Kurt Russell playing Santa Claus. It's a fun movie. Kids are a little bit older now, a couple of years older, and there's this bad little shitter, right? Elf, right? He turns out to be bad because he's naughty. Yeah, he naughty, and and he starts getting into trouble and breaking things and being a nasty piece of work. But of course, Santa, and Mrs. Claus help him get back to being a good elf again. Oh, I just spoiled that for you. Sorry. What did I give that? I didn't even mark that. Well, I can tell you, it's not as good as the first one. Right? So, rate it for whatever it's worth. It's not as good as the first one. But anyway, that's a Christian Chronicles. It's all right. But yeah, okay. Now this one, Netflix, 2020, Manx. Yeah, I got this from James Higgins and a couple other people are talking about this. Mankiewicz, Orson Welles, 1934 time period. I tell you one thing. This movie is made in this year, 2020 or whatever, and it takes place in 1934 and maybe a couple of years above that in time period. But man, they were good looking. The year, like 1934, with the buildings and the furniture and the old cars and, oh yeah, you'd think it was 1934. Well, that's what they want you to think, of course, but they did a lovely job. Now even when you go back, we have old movies, right? We all have old movies. But when you watch a movie from 1934, right, that really was filmed in 1934 with the old buildings and the old switches on the walls for the lights and, furniture and couches and lamps and all that old stuff. That was then. Right, that was the time period. You're looking at right there, time period. And all the things are going on in that time period, right? Like downtown and the cars going by and all that stuff. This one was made in 2020. This is a story about, what's his name, Mankiewicz, Herman Mankiewicz writing the screenplay, right, for Citizen Kane, of course, right? And also it's about Orson Welles, right? Helping Mank write the screenplay. Now, some people say that Orson Welles didn't help in writing the screenplay, that Mankiewicz did them all himself. And other people argue that yes, he did help, right? Help the screenplay. So this movie was out, what was it, 1940 or 41? I'm pretty sure it was. Rosebud, yeah, I think it was Rosebud. And a lot of people, when this movie was released at the theaters, it wasn't at too many theaters, right? And it wasn't even advertised in any of the newspapers back then, right? You pick up a newspaper and you wouldn't see Citizen Kane advertised for a show, go downtown and watch the movie. No, that never happened. And the reason why it never happened, one big reason. What is the one big reason? William Randolph Hearst, right? Hope you can see me all right in this video. It's hard to tell. But, yeah, he owned, what, a lot of newspapers, right? And he owned a lot of theaters. Places where the movies show, right? And you have to advertise your movie in a newspaper so people know it's there. So there was a lot of places in the United States that Citizen Kane never even played at. So, another movie that is a classic, but when it first came out, not too many people went and seen it. All right, where am I? Christmas in Connecticut. I have this movie, but I watched it on TCM. Yes, it came on TCM. I'm gonna watch it. Barbara Stanwyck. Isn't she a dish? Barbara Stanwyck, right, plays the part of a lady that works for, what is it, General Housekeeping Magazine? National Housekeeping Magazine, right? She writes stories. I don't know what it's every day, but she writes stories, about her cooking, her big house, and her cow and her baby and her husband and, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, there's this soldier, right? And he's been on a raft for like 18 days, him and his buddy. So he gets to go to the hospital. He spends time in the hospital getting better, and he's reading this magazine. I think that's how it was. Anyway, so he wins. He or either wins or gets invited, right, to this house, right, this big house up in the country. So he goes up there. Of course, Barbara Stanwyck doesn't have a house, doesn't know how to do any cooking. Her buddy, what's his name, Snuggles or Chuckles or whatever his name is, does all, you know, all the cooking. She doesn't have a baby. She doesn't have a husband, and they have to find all this stuff to put a show together or not together to show this serviceman. So it's hilarious. It's fun. It's a good movie. What do I give it? A 7. See, another 7. You can watch this movie again next year, which I probably will. God works in mysterious ways. If I'm roaming around here next year in this apartment, decorating my place, I'll be watching Christmas in Connecticut again. And I'll probably be having another drink. So, only whiskey and a little bit of ice cubes, some zero Coke. All right, what else I watched? Well, I watched a James Bond movie because it was on Crave TV, movie channel here in Toronto, Rogers, right? On Her Majesty's Secret Service, James Bond. He spends the whole movie looking for, what's his name, Blofeld. Is it Blofeld? I'm going to call him Blofeld. Diana Rigg is in this, and she is gorgeous. And she always was gorgeous, but Diana Rigg is in this, right? So, 1969. Yeah, and then James Bond travels around the world looking for Blofeld, basically, right? So this James Bond movie, not a bad movie, not a great one, so it gets a 7. Yeah, but you can watch it again next year if you feel so inclined. All right, what else did I watch? Movie, Crave TV here in Toronto on Rogers Channel, yes. Dog's Way Home, 2019. Lucas is a medical student who is stumbling upon an orphan dog he named Bella. There's a house across the street from where he lives at, right? And I guess it's being demolished. There's a few of them. They're all kind of falling down. But underneath this one house, I guess it doesn't have a, excuse me, regular type of basement, right? So under the house, there's cats. You know, a mother cat and some of her kittens. And there happens to be a little puppy dog, which they later call her Bella. So anyway, Bella gets to go home with this medical student. But anyway, he gets a little bit older, and people think that he's, what is it, a pit bull. So he has to be taken to, you know, the dog pound and stuff like that. But, yeah, so that's not good. So I can't tell you anything more about the story, because I'll ruin it for you. But this is a very good story. Dog's Way Home, 2019, gets a 7. I love dogs. Now, I don't have any dogs, but I used to have dogs. My daughter and Dave's got 2 dogs, so. But I've always had dogs. When I lived in a house, there's always dogs. I always had dogs. The last dog I had, her name was Angel. Yeah, Angel. Angel passed away last year, a couple of years ago. But what else was I doing? Oh yeah, Ava. I watched this movie on Netflix. Oh, yeah, I got Netflix. Every once in a while I watch a movie on Netflix. 8 years ago, this is what happens ago, she vanished into a secret life. Now she's resurfacing with lethal skills and a target on her back. Jessica Chashan, Colin Farrell, and John Malkovich. Yeah. It's another John Wick. Similarity, a few movies like that now, right? We all know that. A John Wick kind of movie. You know, I don't know if you get that or not, but yeah, she has skills, right? And she kills people. She's a hired assassin, or she works for these people that kill people, saying, that's the end of the road for this fucker, right? Go and kill him. So she dresses up as a chauffeur, you know, and she heads off and kills people. Yeah. But she talks to them before they kill her, right? I mean, before she kills them, I should say. She chats, has a conversation. She's not supposed to talk, not supposed to do any talking. So she's going to piss and off somebody. She talks too much. She's not supposed to talk to the people. Anyway, not a bad story, a lot of action, not a bad movie. I give it a 7. That's how we're almost coming to a close here. Thursday, yeah, well, no, it doesn't matter what day. Ordinary Love, Liam Neeson and Leslie, I think it's Leslie Manville. Joan, which is Leslie Manville, is diagnosed with breast cancer. Now this story kind of hits a little bit close to home because a lot of things in this movie actually happened to me and my wife. You know, like going to the hospital, right, and stuff like that. And actually getting out of the car and complaining about the fact that you got to pay for parking, even when you go visit the hospital and you have to see doctors and you have to take chemo and stuff like that, right? Well, what I was doing, I don't know about now today, if they still do that, I imagine, but I'm not sure. And what she has to go through, you know, at the doctor's office and all this stuff, right? So yeah, and it's about them two being at home together, right? You know, going through their everyday life, you know, having soup for lunch, and her being cold and throwing up and barfing and all that stuff, which is, yeah, I did all that too. I mean, we did all that. So this movie, I watched this movie and I was crying a little bit. Not much, but I did cry, just because I'm thinking, yeah, I did that, or Kathy had that, or Kathy did that. So yeah, it was a pretty good movie. I don't think I'll watch it again, though. I was interested in it, but not again. I won't watch it again. I gave it a 7. I thought it was very well done, but it gets a 7. And it kind of hit close to home, like I said, because, yeah, some of the things they talked about, yeah, I remember talking about that and things. So I can't tell you what happens at the end of the movie, but anyway. All right, what else did I watch? I watched Holiday Affair, which is on here, on this set. Holiday Affair. Yeah, with Robert Mitchum and Janet Leigh, 1949. Janet Leigh is a comparison shopper. Yeah, she buys a train and takes it back and, you know, buys stuff and takes it back. Anyway, she bought a train off Robert Mitchum, and she took it back, and Robert Mitchum then proceeded to get fired because salesmen are not supposed to take back, you know, items that these so-called, some of them they know who they are, but they're not supposed to take items back. So he got fired from his job. So then they meet outside and stuff like that, and they go for lunch, and he helps her back home with parcels, like on the train, bus, you know, whatever. And they get separated. And then, right, he finds out where she lives at, and he goes to her apartment, and her little boy's there, and her future, supposed to be, going to be husband, Wendell Corey's there, and he drops in, you know, and yeah. So it's a good Christmas movie. It's very well done. And what did I give that one? Well, I gave it a 7. A lot of 7s this week. Anyway, that's it. Christmas in Connecticut. I mean, Christmas. Thinking about Barbara Stanwyck, you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, this is a Holiday Affair. Yeah, Robert Mitchum. It's a 7. 1949. Very good movie. How to Steal the World. This one from 66. How to Steal the World. You know, Robert Vaughn and David McCallum were in a TV series together back in the early 60s called The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Now, my humble opinion was, out of the 5 seasons that The Man from U.N.C.L.E. was on TV, the first season was the best for some particular reason. And then the second season and third season kind of went a little bit on the, I don't know what you want to call it, side. But it kind of went downhill, right? Yeah. But I have the set here, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. box set. And, well, it's fun. It's nostalgia, right, that you're looking at. But this movie is from, like I said, 1966, and it's 2 episodes from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. put together to form one movie, right? So Robert Vaughn, David McCallum, as Solo and Ilya, right? Yeah, they investigate the disappearance of a colleague. You know, somebody's missing. They want to find out what happened to this guy, right? And that's Barry Sullivan, right? So they go on about, hunting for him, searching for him, etc., and stuff like that. But it's kind of slow, I guess. Not really much happens in it. So anyway, I gave it a 5. So it's a 5. It's a whole hum, even though I like The Man from U.N.C.L.E. It's a whole hum situation. That's it. It's all the movies I watched this week. I watched a couple today. I'll probably watch another one tonight, but that's my cutoff. I'm pretty sure it's my cutoff date, right? I go from Friday to, where do I go from? Friday? No, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Oh, I'm all confused. I go from Friday to Thursday. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Because today's Friday. So I go from Friday to Thursday of the movies I watched this week. Oh, and before I go, I want to show you another movie. And this basically is for Ian. One of the grumpy old gentlemen who lives over there in Wales. I talked to tell you about this movie. This movie here, 2017, right? Professor Marston and their Wonder Woman, Luke Evans, Rebecca Hall, Bella Heathcote in County Britain. Yeah. So this movie is all about Marston, right? Which is a guy who basically invented? We'll say invented, I don't know the right word. Wonder Woman. The character, Wonder Woman, right? And the bondage, and the superhero Wonder Woman, and the island, and the all-women stuff. And so, he's already married, right? But he meets up with a university student, right? That they chat and talk to and stuff like that. So, based on a true story. This is a true story. Most of this really did happen. Most of it. But who knows, right? I mean, who really knows, about true stories, right? So this is a very well done movie, and I like it. So I'm just telling my friend Ian over there in Wales, check this one out, Ian. You'll like it. Trust me. It's one of those movies, trust me. All right, people. Anyway, that's it for another week. Got my Christmas tree up and all my decorations. I just gotta fix up my couch. Yeah, I gotta vacuum my couch. Vacuum. Change the blankets, put a new blanket on, put a new cover on it and stuff like that. Put the red arm ends on the end. Basically that's it. So yeah. So have a good week. Keep watching those movies. Stay safe. Yep, stay safe. Only place I'm going to go is Monday or Tuesday. I'm heading to Food Basics. Yeah, like I usually do. And that's about it. Yeah, other than if I have to go to Shoppers or something. But I'm not going nowhere. No, I'm not going to Walmart or any of that stuff. I'm pretty well done Christmas shopping. I might have to go down to the post office, mail some, well, you know, the box, right, that's on the corner. Put some Christmas um, cards in there, come back home. Just to get out, go for a walk, eh? But yeah, so that's it. So have a good week. Stay safe and keep watching those movies.